mark, whereas the Sensex ends above 73,000 mark. Broader markets outperform headline indices. Sectoral action mixed on the Lal Street. Media index gains the most, followed by PSU banks. On the other hand, auto index logs a sharp decline, followed by IT, FMCG and pharma. Rupee strengthens by 5 paise to 87.28 levels. Persistent foreign fund outflows and a prevailing liquidity deficit. Forex traders said the ongoing uncertainty surrounding tariff imposition by the US has left financial markets in a flux. Moreover, the tariff chaos has injected volatility and uncertainty into the US dollar index. US President Donald Trump's tariff targeting Canada, Mexico and China kick in today. To remind you, 25% tariffs imposed on imports from Mexico and Canada. Cumulatively, 20% tariffs imposed on China. Additionally, 25% tariffs on steel, aluminum imports will be kicking in from March 12th, and the reciprocal tariffs apply from April 2nd. Let's take a look at which sectors will most likely get impacted in India on the back of Donald Trump's tariffs. Chemical stocks like PI Industries, UBL and Jubilant Ingrevia are likely to be hit. The manufacturers of top 5 chemicals are imported by US. Metals industry may feel the heat of higher tariffs on metal space. There may not be any direct impact, but indirect impact could be steel dumping in India by China, South Korea and Vietnam. Top metal stock like Hindalco's Novelis could see direct impact. Auto ancillaries may be indirectly impacted only due to the complex nature of their supply chains. Customers heavily rely on Mexico's manufacturing units to serve America. Ford, BMW, Volkswagen, General Motors are some players that manufacture in Mexico and Canada. Let's take a look at the IT sector. While KPIT Tech, Tata Tech and Tata Elxsi could be least exposed, Infosys, LTI Mindtree, HCL Tech stand most exposed to Trump tariffs. The sector may be directly impacted by nearshoring from Mexico and Canada that account for less than 5% of the total supply. Jefferies comes out with a note on India's strategy, says the government is taking steps to improve India's long-term growth outlook. As per Jefferies, the government is focusing on issues like bilateral trade agreements, investment in electronics. Government's recent move to cut income tax aims at boosting consumption and drive savings. FII selling continues with equities worth $37 billion sold in the past 5 months alone, especially now that US yields rise to 4.5%. Global investors are shifting gears from equity to debt. Now, this makes developed markets far more attractive. Factors influencing India's sell-off include high valuations, single-digit earnings, growth, lower capex, and tight liquidity. Morgan Stanley maintains an overweight stance on housing lender Canfin Homes. Morgan Stanley reiterates disbursements and loan growth targets for Q4 on FY26, says that the trend implies 2,400 crore rupees disbursements in Q4 and mid-teens loan growth in FY26. The brokerage and analyst firm hails the e-registration situation in Karnataka, believes Telangana market remains tepid and will take longer to improve. Reliance Industries receives $2.81 billion or 24,522 crores demand notice from the government. The demand was following a recent division bench ruling of the Delhi High Court. The case stems from a long-standing dispute over alleged gas migration from ONGC's blocks, for which an international arbitration panel had previously awarded RIL and its consortium partners $1.55 billion in 2018. However, the division bench reversed an earlier single-judge ruling in favor of Reliance, prompting the government to issue the fresh demand. RIL, along with BP Exploration and NICO, states that the judgment and demand are legally unsustainable and will be challenged in higher courts. Citi upgrades SBI to buy from sell with a target price of 830 rupees. Citi says that the state bank has a sharp in net interest margin focus, whereas sustained growth or asset quality. SBI's valuation remains inexpensive, whereas the bank has levers available to protect net interest margin downside. Nomura says India's raw material prices of most agri-based commodities will increase sharply on an annual basis. Companies hike prices, but it will be lower than raw material inflation. Nomura says it prefers companies that show pockets of strength and improved execution. Nomura's top picks in the consumption space are Marico, HUL, and ITC. Trump's tariffs could benefit gross refining margins of oil marketing companies with an estimated rise of $1 per barrel. In fact, Singapore's gross refining margins have risen to the highest levels in 2025. Note that higher GRM and lower crude prices both boost earnings for OMCs. Companies in focus would be MRPL, Chennai Petro, IOCL, BPCL, HPCL, and RIL. CLSA cuts target for Varun Beverages. The analyst firm upgrades the company to high conviction outperform, cuts the target price to 770 rupees from 802 rupees earlier. The company has a compelling risk reward even after assuming competitive impact. The capex of Varun Beverages capex is percentage of sales peaks in CY23. Now, CLSA expects capex intensity of Varun Beverages to ease. However, total addressable market remains large and growing. Varun Beverages has a large upside for soft drink consumption as summer beckons. Elara Capital reiterates buy on Oro Pharma as it estimates the company to be attractively priced, especially the new Pen-G plant with an investment of $300 million targets catering to 80% of India's demand, as India previously relied on China for Pen-G. A 790 crore EBITDA potential could offset other losses of Elara Capital. India's cement prices pick up. Pan-India trade prices increased by 3 rupees per bag in March 2025, while cement prices recorded 2% quarterly rise in the fourth quarter so far. Gensol Engineering hits 20% lower circuit after Care Edge downgrades rating. Now, these ratings were revised due to ongoing delays in servicing term loans, which the brokerage recognizes as a default. Liquidity remains poor, with 4 instruments with an issue size of 716 crore rupees causing most amount of doubt. ICICI Securities shows faith in food deliveries. They reckon that the sector is being ignored amid panic over quick commerce. Structural growth drivers appear strong. Income tax cuts is likely to boost consumption and benefit the food delivery space. In a big breather for SEBI chief, Madhavi Puri Butch and 3 other whole-time members, Bombay High Court decides to put a stay on the FIR. The special court had directed FIR filings in the listings case of CAL's refineries. Now, the main allegations were corruption and irregularity. Bombay High Court calls special court order mechanical. Sapan Srivastava has been given 4 weeks to reply. Quick update on Poonawalla FinCorp, a NBFC operated by the Adar Poonawalla Group. The company's Pune office is being inspected by the tax department. There is no material impact on financial operation or other activities of the company on account of this inspection. Ashoka Buildcon gets provisional certificate for completion of NHAI projects. The project is executed by Ashoka Karadi Banwara Road, a wholly owned subsidiary of Ashoka Concessions. The company also announces that the said SPV has received a provisional certificate for completion of 50.205 kilometers in aggregate out of total project stretch of 56.705 kilometers. Further, the SPV is already eligible for receipt of annuity payments from the NHAI for the operation period of 15 years at the interval of every 6 months from the date of achievement of first commercial operation date. Oyo Hotels speeds up IPO plans as the founder's debt repayment deadline approaches. Creditors insist Ritesh Agarwal to pay off the dues for $383 million he borrowed, a part of a multi-billion-dollar loan package. RateGain announces a significant partnership with MEWS, the industry-leading hospitality cloud and property management system PMS provider. Now, with decades of leadership in their industry, RateGain and MEWS are joining forces to redefine how hoteliers manage their operations, optimize guest experiences, and unlock new revenue streams. This collaboration between 2 industry giants brings together RateGain's cutting-edge channel manager and MEWS' native cloud-based PMS. This integration will allow hotels to seamlessly manage rates, inventory, and reservations across over 400 distribution channels using RateGain's channel manager. Designed to achieve more revenue with less effort, the channel manager is easy to use, self-serve, and fully automated, saving crucial hours in product creation, mapping, and distributing rates and inventory. Zydus Life says it will develop a combination vaccine against shigellosis and typhoid for infants and children. The company said this vaccine combination is being developed for the first time in the world. The project is expected to get underway in March 2025 and is being supported by the Gates Foundation, it added. The pharma company will collaborate with a partner for research and co-development of the combination vaccine using Zydus, who prepare qualified typhoid conjugate vaccine and the Shigella vaccine from its partner. Solar Industries backs 239 crore rupees defense order for hand grenades. Now, as part of the agreement, Solar Defense and Aerospace will deliver multi-mode hand grenades within a year. The deal focuses on the supply of critical defense products, contributing to the nation's security capabilities. Solar Defense and Aerospace Limited specializes in manufacturing and supplying high-quality defense products. On February 28th, Solar Industries India announced that the company, along with its subsidiary, secured orders worth 2,150 crore rupees for the supply of defense products. Now, these orders awarded by an international entity are expected to be completed over the next 6 years. Equinox India rallies after the company's board approved a series of growth initiatives and fundraising plans. The company's board approved the appointment of Jitendra Virwani as chairman of the board and Aditya Virwani as managing director of the company. Aditya Virwani spearheads a dynamic and experienced leadership team at one of India's fastest growing real estate companies, including Sachin Shah, who continues as Chief Executive Officer and Executive Director alongside Rajesh Kaimal, appointed as Chief Financial Officer and Executive Director. Crystal Integrated surges after the company secured contracts at major airports across the country. The new agreements, which include contracts at Chennai International Airport in Tamil Nadu, Trivandrum International Airport in Kerala, and Chandigarh International Airport, will see KISL enhance its service offerings across security, hygiene, and facility management services. Tata Motors says that the company begins trial for India's first heavy-duty hydrogen trucks. The trial phase will last for 24 months with 16 high-tech trucks. The trials are along multiple busy freight routes of India. These trials were flagged off by Union Minister Nitin Gadkari and Tata Motors CV's Girish Wagh. Remember, Tata Motors had won a tender from the Ministry of Renewable Energy to conduct trials of heavy-duty hydrogen trucks. First Source announces official opening of its Australia and New Zealand headquarters in Melbourne, Victoria, alongside the launch of a dedicated AI innovation lab. This expansion aligns with the Victorian government's economic growth statement, which prioritizes digital technology as a key driver for economic and job growth. The ANZ headquarters will be a hub for specialist domain-led service operations, featuring a delivery center and an AI lab dedicated to advancing responsible AI adoption and industry innovation. This milestone strengthens First Source's commitment as an UNB 4TM company, driving a bold shift from traditional outsourcing to AI-led transformation, digital talent development, and business innovation in the region. Adani Group launches its latest film celebrating the impact of Adani Ports, a new addition to the Hum Karke Dikhate Hain stories. This narrative-driven film pays tribute to the indomitable spirit of Hum Karke Dikhate Hain of today's India and Indians, showcasing unwavering determination. The film emphasizes how Adani Ports enables businesses, both large and small, to thrive by providing seamless connectivity and world-class facilities. Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone Limited is more than just India's largest integrated ports and logistics company. BHEL files writ petition in Karnataka High Court against Raichur Power Corporation. The plea seeks declaration that Raichur Power withholding payment worth 423 crore rupees is wrongful. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the changes in the global economy and trade could be an opportunity for Indian firms to invest more and take advantage of the world's need for alternative supply chain hubs. We have seen that when supply chains are disrupted, it affects the global economy, Modi told business leaders during an online session. The world needs a trusted partner which produces high-quality products and the supply is reliable. Maharashtra Minister Dhananjay Munde resigns amid row over Sarpanch murder. Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has accepted the resignation after Munde's aide Valmik Karad was arrested as one of the accused in the case. The 45-year-old Sarpanch was tortured and murdered indeed. The assailants recorded 15 videos and clicked 8 photos to record the brutality that have been circulating on social media. A coupling of the Odisha-bound Nandan-Kanan Express splits in half, causing panic among passengers. The train broke in Uttar Pradesh's Chandoli on Monday, splitting the train into 2 parts and triggering panic among passengers. The coupling is a chain and hook mechanism to attach 2 coaches or wagons of a train. Now, no one was hurt in the incident, which took place near the Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay Junction. The train, which was already delayed by more than 3 hours, was headed to Puri from Delhi. President Donald Trump pauses military aid to Ukraine only days after the public clash with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. The White House has issued a statement clarifying that the pause is to ensure a peaceful resolution. Tensions between Zelensky and Trump escalated due to differing opinions. Trump, who has prioritized a quick resolution, criticized Zelensky's remark that ending Russia's war was still very, very far away. China has swiftly retaliated against fresh U.S. tariffs announced by President Donald Trump and announced 10 to 15% hikes to import levies covering a range of American agricultural and food products. The move places 25 U.S. firms under export and investment restrictions. The move came as America doubled duties on Chinese goods to 20% along with imposing new 25% tariffs on imports from Mexico and Canada, launching new trade conflicts with the top 3 U.S. trading partners. The 20% tariff will apply to several major U.S. consumer electronics imports from China previously untouched by prior duties, including smartphones, laptops, video game consoles, smartwatches, speakers, and Bluetooth devices. Japan deploys more than 2,000 firefighters to battle the country's biggest forest fire in 3 decades. At least 1 person has died in the blaze, which has tortured more than 5,200 acres around the northern Japanese city of Ofunato. Now, some 2,000 have already left the area to stay with friends or relatives, and more than 1,200 have evacuated to shelters, officials said. Now, the fires are burning in a forest area of Iwate Prefecture, which is Japan's second largest prefecture and has the country's second lowest population density. More than 80 buildings are estimated to have been damaged so far, although FDMA noted that details are still being assessed. The champion team meets again today in a knockout match as India plays Australia in the ICC Champions semi-final. Last time the 2 big teams faced each other was in an ICC event was the World Cup Final 2023, where Australia defeated the Men in Blue, winning the World Cup. Well, that's a wrap on Market Express, but do stay tuned to NDTV Profit. A lot more lined up for you on the other side.
Very warm welcome to you all for this NDTV Profit conclave, which is themed on Viksit Bharat.
A life which is both taking care of your material needs and taking care of your altruistic needs. That will be the true definition of Viksit Bharat.
In my view, we are already out of that slowdown.
For every unloam, you have to have vilom. You can't just keep doing up and up in the breading also. You have to come down. So the correction and healthy correction is a very, very integral part of the market.
The private capital expenditure, from where I sit, I see that private capital expenditure is happening.
Any tariff coming on Indian goods will be passed on to American consumers and Indian companies will not be affected.
We feel fairly good about the fact that we can compete with various folks.
Actually, instead of Viksit Bharat, we should call it Re-Viksit Bharat.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Very, very warm welcome to you all for this NDTV Profit conclave, which is themed on Viksit Bharat.
A life which is both taking care of your material needs and taking care of your altruistic needs. That will be the true definition of Viksit Bharat.
In my view, we are already out of that slowdown.
For every unloam, you have to have vilom. You can't just keep doing up and up in the breading also. You have to come down. So the correction and healthy correction is a very, very integral part of the market.
The private capital expenditure, from where I sit, I see that private capital expenditure is happening.
Any tariff coming on Indian goods will be passed on to American consumers and Indian companies will not be affected.
We feel fairly good about the fact that we can compete with various folks.
Actually, instead of Viksit Bharat, we should call it Re-Viksit Bharat.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Very, very warm welcome to you all for this NDTV Profit conclave, which is themed on Viksit Bharat.
A life which is both taking care of your material needs and taking care of your altruistic needs. That will be the true definition of Viksit Bharat.
In my view, we are already out of that slowdown.
For every unloam, you have to have vilom. You can't just keep doing up and up in the breading also. You have to come down. So the correction and healthy correction is a very, very integral part of the market.
The private capital expenditure, from where I sit, I see that private capital expenditure is happening.
Any tariff coming on Indian goods will be passed on to American consumers and Indian companies will not be affected.
We feel fairly good about the fact that we can compete with various folks.
Actually, instead of Viksit Bharat, we should call it Re-Viksit Bharat.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Very warm welcome to you all for this NDTV Profit conclave, which is themed on.
After days of suspense, back and forth, Donald Trump's 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico and 10% additional tariff on China comes